What is popping? Raj coming at y'all. Before I even get started, let me give you a caveat. This has nothing to do with my music, okay? It says the sad state of music. It has nothing to do with me selling music. Believe me, I'm past that point. Believe me, I am past the point that I ain't gonna sell past 100 CDs in my lifetime. That's okay. That's all right. I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about the sad state of music everywhere. I mean, and most people know it, except for the youngsters. They can listen to mumble rap all day. They can listen to them dudes wearing dresses and chicks dressing up like dudes and mugs want to do some satanic rock music. They want to hear all that, man. They love it. I got that part. What we need is real, true music. Now, the only time that really true instrumental music is done is when there's a live show. And believe it or not, it might even be hip hop. Let's take for example. JayZ. Whenever JayZ does a show, his band is off the chain. In fact, that's who, I'm not going to say is directly contributed to him, but it's this young drummer by the name of Tony Royster. He bought Tony Royster out. Tony Royster was known as being this super drummer at the age of 7. Look him up, Tony Royster, R-O-Y-S-T-E-R. I like to give y'all nuggets of knowledge every time. Tony Royster is a young drummer, but he's a young guy. So where Tony Royster comes in at is that he's in the hip hop. He's in the hip hop vein of things right now when it comes to music. So when he plays behind the band, he's not playing behind the OJs who are 98 years old. He's not playing behind the Temptations or the Philly Intruders or the Real Intruders or the Delphonics. No, he's playing behind these younger artists. Just like most of the young players, really, really good players, are playing behind hip-hop artists. Now, a lot of them don't play behind them cats, who doing the mumble rap, but some of them they do. Now, I'm not going to even beat that down, only because back in the day, before LL Cool J and them all had bands, they didn't have bands. They played the vinyl, and they rapped off, they spit off the top of the instrumental of the vinyl. That's what they did. They didn't have a band. But then somebody was like, yo, let's bring a band into it and make this thing pop more. So now you got JayZ. I'm talking about just hip-hop stars, hip-hop guys, not stars. They have bands now. Eminem, band was off the chain. So some of the hip-hop guys who can afford to have bands playing behind them, these mumble rappers don't have bands playing behind them. Oh, yeah, no doubt. But this is Michael Jackson. I'm trying to bring this up to now. I'm talking about the state of affairs now in music. And the state of affairs now in music is this. There's not enough musical content out there for musicians to express themselves besides being on the chitlin circuit. Now, we don't disrespect the chitlin circuit. I mean, a lot of the greatest artists that we know came up through the chitlin circuit. Down south, up north, Chicago, they was playing like maybe, $5, $10 a night? They wasn't making no money. They ain't making the money that these artists are making now playing behind people. You play behind JayZ and them now, you might get $10,000 for that gig that night. Whole different money scenario. But $10,000 ain't a lot of money in the context of things of when you're just playing music for your life. So $10,000 is not a lot of money. You can have $10,000, you'll go through $10,000 of debt because you got debt, you got to pay for the rent, you got to pay for your car. You ain't working every day unless you're working every day. Now, there are musicians and bands that are working every day for prominent artists. Now, I'm just talking about hip hop. Of course, people that I know, like Pink is good to go. She's good for the rest of her life. Pink is going to be the next, like Cher and all of them. Pink ain't going nowhere no time soon. Pink got a band. Pink done made people in her band famous. Pink has a band full of musicians. That's the state of music right now. That's Pink. Pink does pop. Anybody who does pop as a musician is making money. But how many musicians who are not playing pop, there's no real R&B singers out here right now. They were all on Motown last night, hustling for a paycheck. You know what I mean? All the people who can actually sing right now are not doing nothing right now. And I'm not even keeping up with listen to the radio. I know they ain't singing. Fantasia was on there last night, could still sing. She ain't doing nothing. Sierra might be doing something. She was on there last night. A couple other singers on there that's up to date that could really be doing something right now. But they ain't really making no money. They ain't making that kind of money. They ain't making that I can buy $1 million house money. No, Pink making that $1 million house money because Pink went to pop. So Pink making that money like that. But the sisters and brothers ain't making no money like that. I mean, I gave y'all a link to the guys who trying to get into the music industry, and it's called, what's it called? I put in my last video last week. There's something about this ish ain't real or whatever it is. That's right. And Beyonce Ban will be paid for the rest of their life. Beyonce got a band. That's her band. They all females. They good to go. But I'm talking about the state of where music really is. Where they have successfully dumbed down the people. You're absolutely right. They have dumbed down your people. Not just your people, your children. Your children are a catastrophe and a calamity of the Jewish music system that's been put here to dumb down people of color. So you doing is walking around listening to mumble music. But you, I'm not listening to it. You're not listening to it. It's your children listening to it. But the sad state of affairs is you're not stopping your children from listening to it. Now, back in the day, I used to listen to stuff I ain't had no business listening to. It wasn't rated R type stuff like it is now, but some of it was. I couldn't listen to Rudy Ray Moore. There's some stuff about, I forgot that lady who sung some nasty stuff. You know, I couldn't listen to that back in the day. So there were things we couldn't listen to back in the day as well. But I'm talking about now is more prevalent. I mean, I came out of that system. Thank goodness I ain't end up in jail. I ain't end up dead. I'm not a gang war. I'm not a drug addict. You know, so I came out of there unscathed. Are your children going to be able to escape what music is doing to them nowadays? We didn't have Facebook back in the day. If nobody liked you, it was too bad. If somebody didn't like you, you just gave them a fair one. You just fought it out. If nobody liked you, you wasn't trying to look for likes. You wasn't made a part of the machine. Another link I'm gonna put down there is telling me the creators of Facebook knew this was gonna happen to people. They knew they were gonna give them that hint of dopamine, like they said. Everybody wants to be liked, especially when you don't have nobody liking you. When you're sitting in your basement because everybody has called you ugly, especially women. Oh, you ugly. Oh, you so ugly, you ugly. Dudes, you ugly. Where you gonna go to Facebook? You need to find somebody who's going to like you. So to find somebody who's going to like you, you go to Facebook for that dopamine fix. And then once you get that like, now you good. It's like getting a shot of heroin. Facebook is that heroin for these children. And even for some of you adults, you can't even let it go. I was talking to somebody the other day, and I saw that on Facebook. Man, I ain't been on Facebook in a year. I have no intentions of getting on Facebook anymore. But again, it's not about us unless it's about us talking to our children, our nieces, our nephews, saying, get off of that thing. I'm breaking up right now. I can tell I'm breaking up. Get off of that thing. Tell your children. Tell those what I'm not sure what they call this generation. It's not generation. Is it Generation X? Whatever they call this generation is up to us to tell these kids to leave this stuff alone, man. This stuff is going to drive them crazy. It's going to drive them crazy. And you older people, because they're not taking care of me. I got enough people in my generation that when I become old and decrepit, and I mean, I ain't wishing on myself, I'm just saying, if I was to become old and decrepit, I got a generation that's going to take care of me. You guys who are in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, you better hope you have a generation of children who are going to be adults later on, who are children now on Facebook, that's going to care about you. Because they're going to be so messed up in the social media system, along with the music being programmed, they ain't going to care about you. They ain't gonna care about you. They not gonna care about you. They gonna worry about being on social media, somebody liking them, and that's what they gonna do. And it's crazy. But I think when it comes down to it, it comes down to the music, man. And the music I'm making, we can get to my music now. My music is adult music. And I want my music to cross over to young folk. I want that 20, 30, 40 crowd. My music will have a beat to it, but then it'll have some substance, it'll have an instrumental to it. I'm dragging in them 20, 30-year-olds. I'm bringing them in. So what we have to do is start realizing how music is so influential on our children, and you got to stop them from dealing with it. You can't have them going to a concert of Lil Vert. Lil Vert is an overt Satanist. He already said he's a Satanist. Lil Vert is a Satanist. He wears crosses upside down. He already said y'all going to hell with me. And do you know you still letting your children go to them concerts? Why he telling you going right to hell with me? If you ask, did I sell my soul to the devil? Yeah, I did. And you dummies going right with me. There was a video he did. The children are getting hooked up into not transgender, non-gender. And though it's right now predominantly in the Caucasian community that's happening, because, you know, that's one thing colored folk ain't gonna live. They ain't gonna be walking around letting their children talking about they kumquats and they are non-gender. See, colored folk ain't gonna, we already let them steal our identities already. We already let them steal our cultures, our creator and everything. We already did let them change the name of our creator. We done let them do all that. We dang sure ain't gonna let them change the way we think about ourselves when it comes to our gender. I mean, yes, we do have some guys or women who are, you know, transgender, homosexual, whatever it is, but they ain't talking about they ain't no gender. So it's gonna be a long road travel. And the sad state of music right now is that what I really want to talk about is Philly is laden with all types of exceptional musicians. I play with them. I do open mic with these people. And not one of them have ever put a CD out. Not one has said, I'm going to do a CD. Not one has said, let me come to your studio and put a CD together, Raj. Because in a friendship, I wouldn't even charge them. I just want them to be cool. People don't care about that. They don't mind. And I'm sorry, I ain't going to say people. My friends don't care about playing at talent night or playing behind people. We got a couple of guys who are trying to do something, but they're not putting their own music out. They might put their music behind somebody else. They might be tracking for somebody else. They may even be producing for somebody else. But they're not putting their own music out. I can say I'm the only independent artist in Philly, and I'm not bragging, I'm just telling you what the truth is. I'm the only independent artist in Philly, and you know how many people and musicians are in Philly that's putting out CDs independently. I'm not with JayZ Jeff label. I'm not with any label at all. I'm not with Pop Wanzel and them, but Pop Wanzel and them doing music outside of Philly. Pop Wanzel, a producer for Sierra and freaking Homegirl. Pop Wanzel, which is Dexter Wanzel's son, he produced for other people. But as much as music he produced for hip hop artists and R&B artists, he still hasn't done his own CD. There's no one independently in Philly right now besides myself doing his own CD. Nobody. Look it up. Nobody independently, again, not signed to a label, not signed to this, not signed to that. And the first thing people want to say is, well, you ain't selling your stuff. You ain't selling. You know why I'm not selling these CDs? Because there's nobody to anchor me to sell CDs. If there was more people doing what I'm doing, then I probably would sell CDs. But the fact is, there are not a lot of people or independent artists doing anything with talent nowadays. They're playing in church. They're playing church all day. They get the do 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 do. Yeah, but Meek Mill is signed to a label. You must listen to what I'm saying to you, my friend. His music might be nice, it's all that, but he is signed to a label. I'm trying to get people who are not signed to record labels to produce their own music, like me. Regardless of whether you're gonna be a freaking superstar or not. It's about expression. Meek Mill is signed to JayZ's label. So the point I'm trying to make before I take care of my business, there's no one trying to make music because first of all, they're afraid to fail. Secondly, they want to go too far, trying to do too much when you don't have to do too much to express yourself. There's just no. You want to tell me that when you're trying to meet a girl or a woman trying to hook up with a man, you putting your best foot forward. You're trying to do everything you can to make this person believe that you are who you are. Got you. You apply that same technology to music. You put your best out there, but the fact of the matter is it's not going to be perfect, and you're not always going to make $1 million. So that person you meet, or you're trying to meet, or you're trying to woo, they ain't going to be $1 million people like you're not. So you can't wait around. There's so many people want to wait around. Well, I want to do this because I want to wait and do this. Well, you ain't going to never get nothing done. And if you've been blessed and graced and given mercy to see the next day, you're going to leave here not having done anything. Anything at all. Well, look at children. Everybody always like to run and grab their children. They like to run and grab anything they can materially to say they've done something on this planet in their lifetime. But when you add it all up, they've done nothing. They've done nothing creatively for themselves. Raising your children is fine. But there's a lot of people raise their children, they in jail now. They drug addicts. They might be non-gender. That reflects on you. When your child goes to jail, that reflects on you. That means you did something wrong. Though you may say, I did all I could. You still did something wrong. So don't brag about your children doing what they do, because your children only doing day to day. Unless you got a child. I met somebody, the child, he said, shit, my child's in Howard. And I applaud that. Anytime somebody tell me their child is doing well, I applaud that. But what have you done for me lately? How do you know what you're going to be doing 10, 20 years from now? You don't know. You may be here, you may not be here. You got to do for yourself when it comes to being creative and leaving a stamp on this planet. You can't rely on somebody else to leave that stamp. You can't rely on your uncles and aunts and your job. Oh, he was a good guy, or she was a good woman. Nobody want to hear that. What have you left here on this planet to say that you've made a mark? You, not your children, not your job, not your cars that you might have. No, you've done nothing. Have you done nothing? Have you done anything? Find what it is that you think you need to be doing and do it. You might be a politician, but you might be a crooked politician. You might end up like the guy Seth here in Philly. He was a politician. He was moving up. So they found out he stole a whole bunch of money and all kinds of stuff. Now he's in jail. Come on, man. Come on, man. You only can rely on what you've done creatively is what you do on this planet. And you can't live through other people. How many coaches out here coaching football? Well, I'm coaching football team. But that's only because your son is on it. If your son or somebody you knew, your uncle, your nephew or somebody wasn't on the football team, you would not be out there coaching the football team. And you're hoping that they make it and become somebody. But just like rappers, it's like anybody else, they may not make it. So now what you gonna do? Well, I coached for somebody, he didn't make it. All right, so you was a coach. Now what you got? What's next? That's it? Time to just get fat and drink beer for the rest of your life now, huh? And look at football games saying, oh yeah, my son could have did that. Or if Whatcom had a practice, he did that. Or if Jimmy had a lost weight, or if Shaniqua had a Whatcom, da. Well, I have no plan B. If you're asking me, I don't have to have a plan B. Brother, I got a plan A. I'm right here. 31 years has always been plan A. 31 years, right here, at this company. That's plan A. And I got a lot to show for it, including my studio, including whatever else I have. I got something to show for it. My 7 CDs, 8 CDs I put out, no, they're not $1 million sellers, but I did something. There's no plan B for people who don't have a plan A. There's no plan A for people who don't have a plan B. No, plan A. I'm doing it. 31 years. I'm now vegan, so I changed my life to vegan lifestyle. I'm singing more now. I'm doing my first feature as a singer. I've never been a singer. So what I'm saying, bro, is you don't need a plan B when you got a plan A. Plan A is right here, 31 years. The music has never been a plan B. Music has been something for me to be creative. And that's why I was hoping to tell people who are musicians who understand what I'm saying is that you need to be more creative. The name of the title is the name of the title is The State of Music. Not the state of a plan B, not the state of becoming rich. Heaven willing, I'll have a pension. And I can leave today if I want, and I'll have a pension for the rest of my life. It's plan A right there, Doc. That was plan A. Now, if I want to leave and do music for the rest of my life, plan A going to pay me till it's done. I got stock. I got my own company. And though it's not a multi-million-dollar company, it might not be a multi-million-dollar company today, but it might be a multi-million-dollar company tomorrow. Who knows? But I have a company, the Hollow Media Group, LLC. I have LLC. Plan B's, and then when you got a plan A, the plan A was right here for 31 years, my brother. Now it's time to take it to another level and make it A+. There's no plan B here. No need for a plan B when you've been working at a job for 31 years and liking it. I'm still sitting here chatting with y'all. I get up every morning, I give up my time to talk about fragrances. I got a fragrance collection. I take you guys around when we doing fragrances, for those who know I do fragrances. Then I play music for you. I let you hear my music in the background. Some of you have bought my music. Oh, bro, I'm not being arrogant at all. People are, you're being arrogant. No, I'm not. I'm trying to push you to go to that next level, man. Or ladies, whatever you do. My niece just became a licensed cosmetologist, a cosmopologist, or whatever she is, a cosmetologist. Beautiful young lady. Just became a licensed cosmetologist because she done seen her uncle do the thing. I left a framework for her. I left a framework. I don't have any children. All I have is a niece and two nephews. I've established a framework for them. My father established it before I did. My father had his own business. I've established that for my family. To do what you got to do to make it do it. Achieve what you're trying to achieve. And keep it righteous, man. But back to the art of music. Music is, man. I mean, my niece is not, she's going to be a violin player. I bought her a violin. I ain't doing a violin. She might come back to it later. But she can do some hair. And doing hair is creativity. Creating hairstyles is being creative. She don't smoke. She don't drink. She's not pregnant. Set the groundwork. What you leave is a legacy. Not what's happening now. It's not about money. It's a legacy. And if you have not left a legacy for yourself on this planet, besides your children or whatever, you can leave a roadmap. But what stamp have you put on this freaking crazy behind earth full of heathens and devils and all kinds of craziness, but full of good people and people trying to do the right thing too? What stamp have you put out for yourself? See, 31 years working here was not going to be enough for me. It wasn't going to be enough for me. 31 years, I stayed here to make sure I got a pension for the rest of my life in healthcare. And I served in my military. So I got a stamp that I served in the military. Like a lot of people do. That's what I had to contribute. That's what I've done so far. And I plan on doing more. Okay? You don't really care about your legacy? It don't matter what? Really? Wow. Wow. You don't care about a legacy? Everybody cares about a legacy they leave. Unless you're in jail and you don't have a legacy. Or you're doing dirty. You're not living right. Why not think about leaving a stamp on this planet, man? I guess Martin Luther King and everybody who fought for civil rights and Malcolm X, those who stood up against those who were trying to oppress us, I guess they don't have a legacy. Wow, I never heard nobody say that. That was like somebody told me that they sinned because Jesus hung on the cross and they don't want him to have hung on that cross for nothing. That statement kind of reminded me of when somebody said that. Wow. Hey, man, I'm with you, dog, whatever you decide to do. State of music. Nobody wants to do music. Nobody wants to do their own music. Everybody's scared to death about doing their own thing. I'm keeping it pushing. And heaven willing, I get to do my showcase as a singer. For the first time, I'm going to do a showcase because I worked myself up for 3 years learning how to sing at karaoke nights and open mic nights, and now I have somebody ask me, do I want to do a feature singing? Now that's crazy. And I ain't see that coming. But it's here. Find your legacy. Find what you do. Well, I only said Jesus because I was mentioning nobody's going there, brother. I only mentioned that because somebody said that. I ain't said nothing about Jesus until I talked about that statement that somebody mentioned about Jesus. Don't take it off the path. The path is what's the state of music right now, and why so many musicians who are in Philly are not achieving and not looking to do more with their musicianship. A lot of guys play a lot better than me, but they never put any music out. And that's all I'm talking about. Everything else is just a byproduct. Intensivoo by man Sarah, Intensivity Ooh, whatever it's called,